Now, I have to move this to the back. Again, if you've used other products, then you're probably aware of this. You go up to Object, go to Arrange, and send it to the back. And now the other two items are on top. Very simple to create. And again, you just would have to click on the label to scroll this down. It will automatically put in the scrolling feature. Very simple, quick, and you can always make adjustments. This one is too big, so I'm going to bring it down, and you can see it adjusts automatically. Now, I don't really need this one because I already have it, so I'm going to just put it off to the side, and we're going to come back in and take a look at this. Now, if you're using a sidebar like I did, it's automatically connected, or it will automatically connect to the screen that you're using. For example, I've got this one right here. So I've placed those three little lines. If I click on it, you'll automatically see that I have, in fact, hooked up this sidebar. And what you really need to do is you need to make sure that you position it just touching the edge. It needs to be associated with the screen that you're using, so it needs to have that tiny, tiny little bit of connection. And what I've done to do that, there's a drop shadow there, like I said. So you want to have the drop shadow so that way you can see, sorry, I'm scrolling in really tight, so you can see that it's actually on top of something. Now let me zoom back out, and I want to show you how this works. So before we even get into connecting this, I'm going to select this and preview in design what my design looks like. So this little arrow will give me a desktop preview of what this looks like. Now, the great thing about the desktop preview is that you can record it, you can create a movie of it, and send it to other people so they can see how it's going to work, and it will show your cursor clicks and all of that. But as you can see, this is what it's going to look like on the mobile application that I'm creating. Now, before we continue with that, I'm going to zoom back out. And like I said, there are some things that I created here that are working beautifully, and some that I used something different than what I really wanted. So I'm going to show you how to correct and how to hook up. So this list here is your drop-down menu. And what it's going to do is you got a little instruction for the user so it doesn't frustrate them. And all they have to do is tap on either of these things in order for them to get to those two lists. And it's really the only two things they need to do, because you're always going to go from the list to wherever the definition is, or the example of it is. Now, sometimes you may change that as you go along. But again, your app, build it your way. I encourage you to use whatever it is that you feel you want to use to create this. I've only hooked up these words right here. So you've got awesome and irony and definition, etc. Just the top ones, because again, it's a prototype. You don't have to hook up everything, but it's nice to see it if it's all hooked up. Getting to the actual prototype stage now. Select prototype. And again, I'm going to show you what I mean by something I like and something I don't like in this. So we're just going to use this area here. If I select the home, and home is always where it starts, so you really want to have this connected as your home. If you go into this one, you'll see it's dark. So this is the one that I'm using. And you can see from my selection how my connected wires are actually hooking up. You literally, all you have to do is, and I'm going to come in closer to show you this, I'm going to disconnect it so it's not a bad thing to see. And all you really need to do is you're going to have this little arrow come up. I'm going to connect it to here, right? And over here are the instructions. So in this case, I want it to be a tap. So if somebody touches it, it goes. I want it to animate to the sidebar, and I want it to slide in or slide out. Hang on a second. No, I don't. I want it to ease in. So, excuse me. So let's have a look at how that works. And I'm going to use 0.3 seconds. So let's test it. Click on the arrow. This is hooked up. I get a little hand. I click on it. It eases in. And it slides over what was actually there. Now, like I said, you can actually have it so it's on top, or you can have it that it just slides in like that. Now, there's a bit of delay, so it doesn't actually look as good as what I want. And as a matter of fact, it's not really what I had anticipated in the first place. So let's go down here to actually using the word list. Now, there's a lot of wires going on here. So as you can see, if I select this wire right here, what I've done instead is I've still got this auto animate ease in and out, but I'm going to change this and try something different. I'm going to try a transition instead. And I want it to go to the word list sidebar, but instead of dissolve, I want it to slide left. And again, you can choose ease in and out. You can choose ease in, ease out, whatever way you want to do it. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to change the amount of seconds. Right now I have it as a half a second. I'm going to change it to 0.3, so it's a little bit faster. Okay, and let's test this out. So I'm going to select it, hit the button, and this time, that's really what I was looking to do, is ease it in and have everything slide over. But this still looks kind of awkward because everything's moved over and I've slid it in. So try different things. See what's going to work for you. All right, because I really encourage you to do that because that's the best way to learn this product. The X, I've used an X, you can use a cross. Design elements are entirely up to you how you want things to look. An X looks like an X, okay, but you might want to use just something that crosses so it gives you that more intent look. And again, if I click on this, it's going to slide it back out. Different things going on here, but for the most part, I've used the same technique over and over again, and you can see how it's hooked up. So all of these are hooked up to the word list right here. So every word has been hooked up to where it's going. These X's and the sidebar have all been hooked to go back here and also to go back to the quote list in case you want to see some quotes using words. This is the basic design of it, and that's pretty much all we're doing. The other thing I want to show you is how to share this because you need to publish it. So if you click on the share button, you can see right here that I've actually already shared it online. So it's showing up, but let me update that link. So it's actually going to connect. Sorry, I'm zoomed in a little bit too tight for you to see. There it is. And what it'll do is it'll allow me to copy this link, send it by email, or to publish it as a design review, a development presentation, etc. Whatever you want to publish it as, you can. I've actually published it with anyone who has this link can use it, but you can, in fact, change the access to having it be invitation only. I would encourage you in this case to actually share it with everyone so that way we can have a look at it. Thank you very much for participating and enjoy creating your app.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching. Click the link in the description below to explore more free online professional development on the Adobe Education Exchange. And click the link on screen to subscribe to the channel for more videos.